All right, so here we are with Professor Nargunkar for part B of episode number 5. Is that right?
Yeah.
Great. So we saw in part A that you spoke about these amazing students of yours turned into entrepreneurs. By the way, I do have a question. Also sense a lot of people are moving towards, being entrepreneurs rather than being in a 9 to 5 or a typical corporate setup.
That's true.
So do you think this is a great journey? And what if somebody like me, let's say, I don't want to invest in a startup, but I still have a lot of creative ideas? How can I get through, without worrying about funding or having a startup, but to actually get my innovation out in the world?
Well, best is stop worrying and start doing it.
Okay, great. So do you know any such people who actually did something and stopped worrying, let's say in capacity of freelancers or, like partners of one of these entrepreneurial firms?
In fact, we are going to talk about exactly some of these kinds of people.
Great.
So let me start by talking of some students, and there are a couple of friends as well later. So the first student, she is from Kirloskar Institute again, and her job or freelance, she freelances as a ghost writer. So there are CEOs and COOs, etc., or corporate executives, etc., who don't have writing skills necessarily, but have a lot of stuff within them which they want to share with others. So she does the writing for them, and she discusses the idea with them professionally over a period of time until it comes together as a book, and then it is published under the name of the person who who gave the ideas, and she is a ghost writer for them. So it's a nice career, and she is pretty successful at doing this. Then I'd like to mention a writer and blogger who writes quite a bit. She did a corporate stint or two before getting in here. She is a student of IMT. Her name is Gauri, and she's a very well-known writer and blogger. And recently she started a series about mystery writers or authors. So it's no longer a mystery to find out something more about these mystery authors. The third is, I'd like to mention Sheetal Garg, who is a trainer. She used to be a banker with State Bank and for a fairly long time, a long stint. She is now training bankers of different levels, and she does short-term programs on various things, not necessarily related to the technical aspects of banking, though they are also a part of it. And then there's another category called, I would put them in a category called actors or media persons. Sometimes they're both, sometimes they're one of these. So Divya Sharma, who's a news anchor, she is a student of Kirloskar, ex-student, and she has been a successful actor in some shorts or serials or ads, but she's now a full-time news anchor with a reasonably well-known news channel. Then we have Meha Kapoor, who has been an RJ, and in our days we couldn't imagine ourselves becoming an RJ, but today's students are very smart, obviously. And she was with a channel also named herself Ishq Meha, because I think the channel name went with her name. So Meha Kapoor is the second one. The third, Padma Priya, is a very well-known actress in Malayalam films, and this she did after her MBA from Kirloskar, and also a stint with Genpact in the corporate world. So she is also a dancer, very well known Bharatanatyam dancer, and she acts, and she has also been associated with causes which is like a women's collective, for example, in Kerala. Many authors also, I think, fall into this category of independent work, who are not in the rut of the corporate rat race. And some of these I'd like to mention. For example, Sriram, a student from IMT who wrote a full-fledged novel, suspense novel, something like a Robert Ludlum book, called Kaliyug, and I enjoyed reading it tremendously. And I think he is on to his next project as well. Khyati Jha is also an author, and she was a student as well at IMT. Pawan Tarawade is another Pune-based author who has written a couple of books and writes regularly in a shorter format, either as a blog or elsewhere. Another friend of mine who is actually a classmate from IIM Bangalore, and he has been an IPS officer, and he wrote his memoirs after a 3-decade-long service, and he called it Police in Blunderland. So he's a full-time author, and you can guess from the title of the book that it's an interesting story about his experiences in policedom. Hari Mohan is another friend who you might see in a future episode also. He has written 3 or more full-fledged books, starting with The Men Within, about a cricketing team from school who does well in spite of many odds. It was also adapted into a Telugu film called Golconda High School. Shakti Ghoshal is the last one I would like to mention. He is also another classmate of mine from IIM, and he has written a book based on part fiction and maybe set in the Calcutta region called something about Hooghly. So the Hooghly is the river where Calcutta is based, or Kolkata as we know it now. So these are all examples of people who have done tremendously well in fields other than what was expected of them initially. Though they started out with corporates in many cases, they didn't stick around, they did what they chose to do.
That's fantastic. If you had to, start a venture of your own, what would it be, and what would you name it, and what would be the vision of it?
This is the new venture actually, which I am into. It's called Chat Masala, and it involves talking about all kinds of things and all kinds of people, like we did today.
Great. I think suits perfect for you. So I'll see you in the next episode. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.